How great,
how great, how great
is
you
our
stand.
God.
How great,
Sing with me,
and
how
great,
is
how great
our
hands.
God.
How
And
great,
all will
beginning and
see
the
how
end.
great,
How great, how great,
how
the end. How great
is our God.
How great, how great.
This is RevMichelleHopkinsMann.
On December 20th, 2016, a crime against humanity was committed as a worldwide damnable coalition of international aerosoling commenced. You will remember I showed you images taken in our skies on December 20th, 2016, of bloody clouds, chemtrails that had included some pathogen in desiccated human red blood cells. This composite image was taken from the International Space Station on December 20th, 2016. As you can see, the images taken to make up this composite are above the clouds in full daylight. In this light, we seem to have the normal chem cloud coverage. But when gamma glare is lessened, the clouds begin to reveal their deadly secrets. What evidence do we find? Look at this. The evidence is clear that these clouds were aerosoled around the entire northern hemisphere of the world. What I have discovered and am about to share with you is extremely disturbing. Be warned. If you're easily disturbed and do not wish to know the truth, do not watch any further. 2 days after this worldwide assault on humanity, my husband and I began to feel ill. Within a few short days, we had developed pneumonia as well as another pathogen. These are the microscopic findings. The two pathogens found were Mycoplasma pneumoniae, which causes mycoplasmic pneumonia. As you see here, these are genetically altered Mycoplasma pneumoniae cells, and chronic bronchitis, as you see here. These are genetically altered chronic bronchitis cells. As you can see here, these are the Mycoplasma pneumoniae cells. Here is one, here is one, here is one. This is a white cell. It is consuming bacterial pneumonia cells, or these Mycoplasma pneumonia cells. You can see inside it has already consumed some and is going after another one. Here are some more pneumonia cells. Here we find some aluminum-tipped fiberglass. Here we see a white cell that is dividing. It has consumed numerous bronchitis and pneumonia cells. Here are the bronchitis cells it is consuming. Here's another white cell. It has already consumed some pneumonia cells and some bronchitis cells. So my immune system is doing its work, but as you can tell, there are very few white cells as compared to the other cells. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fourth one is dividing, so soon to be 5 on this slide. But there are a great many more pneumonia cells. Now, alone, both of these are chronic in nature, but together they become as virulent as H1N1, SARS, or MERS. In fact, when we look at the slide after incubation, we find that these pneumonia cells have taken on a Zika-like alteration. This is what Zika cells look like. This is what advanced Mycoplasma pneumoniae cells look like. And this is what these Mycoplasma pneumoniae cells look like on the slide after incubation. You see the telltale Y branching and the little nubbins on the end. The branches you see are much longer and they are malformed. They're not formed exactly like the normal Mycoplasma pneumoniae cells. They've taken on these weird shapes. They look like a cross between Zika virus and Mycoplasma pneumoniae. I would say that probably is one of the genetic alterations of this. There's something else that shows up on this slide. On another part of this slide, we find what has come to be called a Morgellons fiber. And there's a cell manufacturing it. And here is a white cell that has succumbed, basically. It still has within it some of the chronic bronchitis cells. I'll blow that up so you can see it a little bit better. The United States government has been granted patents on both of these pathogens and the genetic altering of these pathogens since the 1980s. They were developed into aerosol form in the 1990s and patented usable as chemical biological warfare. Pfizer, for one, seems to be trying to corner the market on Mycoplasma pneumonia vaccines and treatment. But Doctors Without Borders blocked Pfizer's attempt to do so in India, citing that the people there needed to be allowed affordable care. I can't help noticing that India is among the nations in the Northern Hemisphere assaulted in this worldwide aerosoling of these two deadly pathogens. Here are the symptoms of this biological warfare assault concoction. Common Mycoplasma pneumonia symptoms include chest pain, chills, cough, usually dry, not bloody, excessive sweating, fever, and that may be high, headache, and sore throat. Chronic bronchitis symptoms include sore throat, fatigue or tiredness, fever, body aches, stuffy or runny nose, or both, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. A persistent cough is found with this, and even after the infection clears up, you may still have that cough for days or weeks. You might have a wheezing or a whistling or squeaky sound when you breathe, low fever and chest tightness or pain. The cough with chronic bronchitis may produce large amounts of mucus. One thing I noticed with this illness, there was a bronchitis-like taste, but not exactly like that. And not every cough produced it, as with bronchitis. My husband and I have been suffering from this caustic cocktail assault illness from 2 days after this chemtrail crime until just recently. And we are getting reports of people suffering these symptoms chronically since December 20th, 2016, from all across America and different parts of the world. Interestingly, the reports are coming from Europe and India and other places in the Northern Hemisphere. The chronic bouts would last for 2 weeks or about 1 week. We still have residual effects like coughing and sinus issues, and Lord willing, we will not have another full bout of it. For months that this was going on, we tried numerous different treatments. Nothing really helped until this last go-round. What I used was 2 amoxicillin in the morning, 2 amoxicillin at night, and an anti-yeast product so that no yeast buildup took place that was killed off by the amoxicillin. I used distilled water and kosher salt nasal irrigation. I used whole food vitamin C, and I'm drinking distilled water exclusively. Now I have to tell you, I never use chemical substitutes that pass for vitamin C, like stearic acid, ascorbic acid, or rose hips. This is what stearic acid looks like after it's manufactured in the slaughterhouse. Ascorbic acid and stearic acid both have the opposite effects of vitamin C. Vitamin C boosts the immune system by building and causing growth of white cells and T cells and other disease-fighting cells, so one's body can fight off nasty pathogens successfully. But stearic acid and ascorbic acid actually inhibit the creation and growth of T cells and other disease-fighting cells, rendering one's immune system grossly ineffective. Now I'm going to leave the URL for information on mycoplasma and its uses in chemtrails in the video description.
This is RevMichelleMann. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.
Darkness tries to hide, and it trembles at his voice. My heart Satan trembles at his voice.
How great
is our God.
How great